Holy crap, dorks. It's actually happening. It's actually fucking happening. I want all of you right now, as we speak, to run for your fucking lives. Run for your fucking lives. Do you not fucking hear me? Run for your fucking lives. Hashtag GiveWomenAChance is back, and is back in full effect. So motherfuckers, brace yourself. It's back in full effect. If you go on Twitter and look up this hashtag, it is the most cringe-worthy shit I have ever seen. It is the most toxic thing I have seen literally this entire week when it comes to wrestling Twitter and shit like that. All this and more today on this installment of Around the Point. So dorks, don't go anywhere. Sit back, relax, smoke a blunt, drink a cold one. Like I said, this is Around the Point. Hey guys, what is up? It is me, it is Steve. I am back again with a new video. Thank you all for watching. This is, of course, another installment of Around the Point. It is Sunday, July 28th, 2019. Happy July 28th for all my Peruvian brothers and sisters. Fiestas Patrias, Peruvian Independence Day today. Hope all of you that are Peruvian are enjoying it today. Whether you're outside having a parrillada, a pollada, if you will, enjoying a ceviche, anticuchos, or like my parents or like my uncles would say, tomándote una chela, which is beer basically in Peruvian slang. But I know what I'm doing today. Later on, once I get out of work, because I have to go to work in a couple hours, once I clock out, I'm going to buy me a ceviche, a little bit of spice, a little bit of spicy in there, some anticuchos, which is Peruvian shish kebabs, right? And I'm going to probably buy me an Inca Cola, and that's basically going to be it for my Sunday. But if you have not yet, if you've never ever tried ceviche, I strongly recommend you guys do. It's Peruvian seafood. And granted, yes, every Latin American country have their own spin on ceviche. But trust me when I tell you this. The Peruvian one is the best. The Peruvian one is king of ceviche. And don't get me wrong, the Mexican one is good too. And I guess also the Ecuadorian and every other country that claims to have their own spin on ceviche. But no. The Peruvian one is the best. And I don't mean to be an arrogant person when I say this shit. Not just because I'm Peruvian. But when you look at the Latin America, the culinary world in Latin America, Peru is running the shit. We are. Our food is the best. Don't tell me differently. You are wrong, I am right. You fucking dorks. But anyway, guys, if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below. Give the video, the podcast, a big old thumbs up. And share this throughout your entire social media. Whether it's Facebook, whether it's Twitter, whether it's the gram, whether it's Snapchat. I don't know how the fuck you can put all this into 15-second portions. Snapchat and story mode, but whatever. You kind of get the idea. All right. You can follow me on Twitter at HeelSteven. Make sure for the podcast you are using the hashtag ATPoint, so I know it's for the podcast on Twitter. Before I go any further, I want to thank my graphic designer for this awesome overlay. The one, the only, of course, the best graphic designer in the IWC. The one, the only, Salrex. If you are a podcaster, if you are a YouTuber, and you want awesome graphics, awesome overlays done for your respective YouTube channel, whether it be your podcast with logos, or if you're someone like me and you want awesome video overlays like you see right here, hit the man up on Twitter right now. That is at SRXGFX. Tell him that I sent you. Not only does Salrex does graphic designs for myself, but he also does graphic designs for the likes of JD from NY206. You all know who he is, the host of Off the Script. You can catch him on YouTube every single day, literally almost single day here on YouTube. It's the Solid Monster from the Solid Monster Sounds Off Wrestling Podcast. You can catch him live, catch him on Sunday on the Solid Monster House of Glory, which, by the way, they're doing a show on August the 9th, High Intensity 8. I will probably be attending that show. which will have the Young Bucks versus Private Party and Private Party's farewell match in House of Glory, and likely to be the Young Bucks' final match on the Indie before they head over to AEW on TNT. I'll likely be going to that show, part of SummerSlam weekend, and of course the homie himself, Big Mike from Big Mike Wrestling Recap Show. So, and so many other people as well. So again, Salrex has done amazing work, and if you don't believe me, ask any of the guys that I've mentioned. They will vouch for me. They will tell you that we are blessed to have Salrex on our team. You know, it's funny, and I know I'm going to get into this whole give women a chance thing in just a little bit, okay, momentarily, but over the weekend, as you all know, the WWE Network has gone a new interface. Everything's changed, right? And I found out about this because I got an email about it a couple of days ago, and on Friday was my day off. So I turned on my PS4, I turned on the network just to be curious and shit, right? And I had to sign in again, which I did, whatever. And for some reason, when I did, it left me on 205 Live. And granted, I don't watch 205 Live. I'm not really big on it. It's not really my cup of tea. Not to mention the fact that, you know, after SmackDown Live goes off the air, I turn off the TV and I go to sleep. I have to be up at 3 in the morning the next day to go to work. So I did watch 205 Live because I was curious to see what the fuck they were doing. And I gotta say, it was a very good show. I did enjoy myself. Now, will this make me want to watch 205 Live every single fucking week, you ask? No. I'm sorry, it does not. That being said, it was a very good show. It had a tag team match of, I want to say, it was Grand Metalik and Kalisto of Lucha House Party versus the team of Humberto Carrillo and Raul Mendoza. Raul Mendoza from NXT. So basically, this week's episode of NXT for this past week was basically 205 Live versus NXT. And it was a very fun tag team match. What amazed me, that for an hour show, they're able to get a lot of shit in as far as in-ring work, a lot of spots in and stuff like that. And again, we all know who's running 205 Live. It's Triple H, so there you go with that. And then we find out that next week, or this coming Tuesday, it's going to be Drake Maverick versus Mike Kanellis in an unsanctioned match where if Mike Kanellis gets to win, he will get a future shot at the Cruiserweight Championship. And we got the main event, which I thought was fucking amazing. Probably one of the best matches this week in WWE. Drew Gulak, the Cruiserweight Champion, versus NXT's Isaiah Swerve Scott, formerly known as Shane Strickland, and they tore it up. They literally went out there, they tore it up, and not for nothing too, I guarantee a lot of people that were in that building probably never knew who Shane Strickland ever was, or I'm sorry, Isaiah Scott. They probably never knew who he was. Granted, he is part of that NXT breakout tournament. He was out in the first round. But I guarantee you a lot of people that were in that building, that were left, that stayed there, what have you, probably the first time they saw him, and boy did he deliver. And so did Drew Gulak, for that matter, right? Let's not give all the glory to Isaiah Scott here, by no means at all. But I think, if anything, you know, people are going to be upset about it too. Oh my God, Isaiah Scott, Shane Strickland, a good talent, good wrestler, all the fuck you want. It's a shame that he's being relegated to 205. Well, again, that's probably where his destination would be. And again, you look at 205 Live, you look at where the talent that's there right now is a good talent. Don't get me the fuck wrong. Yeah, granted, you wish these talents wouldn't be relegated to just being called cruiserweights. You would wish that these talents would eventually make that move up to Raw and SmackDown. Technically, it's part of the main roster when you think about it. It's really not really. Let's put it that way. But I do agree, you know, you look at the talent that were there that eventually made that move to Raw and SmackDown. You look at Cedric Alexander, who was a Cruiserweight champion, who is now part of Monday Night Raw, right? Got his ass kicked by fucking Drew McIntyre this past Monday. But still, he's there. You have Mustafa Ali, or Ali, who looks like he might be becoming a heel on SmackDown Live from his promos that he's been cutting, talking about wanting a shot at the championship, how he won his redemption, how it was supposed to be him, but it was taken away from him due to injury, but he wants that opportunity again. And then you got someone like Buddy Murphy, who unfortunately who only made one appearance on SmackDown. That was I get the State of the Union thing that did on SmackDown a couple weeks ago, where Shane McMahon, like, he talked to everyone and stuff like that. That's basically it. But again, there's good talent on 205 Live. You do have Jack Gallagher, who's a good talent, who actually tore it up with Chad Gable, and I think they'll probably do another match down the road. You also have Chad Gable, Jack Gallagher, like I mentioned. You do have, I guess, Tony Nese, who's the former Cruiserweight champion, Drew Gulak, and I think eventually you're gonna add more guys from NXT, like I did mention. You're gonna probably add Raul Mendoza, who also had a good showing as well. And I guess as well as Scott and so many other guys that I guarantee you that are in NXT, they're gonna probably make up that move to 205 Live. But we shall see. At the same time, I've been hearing rumors and news out there that WWE might end up pulling the plug on 205 Live. I hope not. Keep this in mind. Again, how can you say that, Steve? You don't even watch 205 Live? I mean, you are correct. But at least for the talent that's there, gives them something to do. So there's that. Okay, let's get into this whole Give Women a Chance hashtag that I saw on Twitter this past Monday. And keep this in mind, I technically didn't see it on Monday. I saw it on Tuesday. So, I don't recall if we talked about this on episode 303 of the TNL podcast, which, by the way, you can listen to, right? It's up in our archives, episode 303 of the TNL podcast, where we talked about numerous topics, including AEW making the move to TNT on October 2nd on TNT. So give that a listen if you get a chance. We might have talked about the Give Women a Chance thing, but we really didn't get into it, if you will. I also uploaded a Raw review this past Monday where apparently for Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar is a Seth Rollins wannabe. Yeah, right. There's so many other stuff as well. So if you have not, hit the video archives and see the videos of the week. Give them a watch, give them a listen. Hit the sub button down below. At Heel Steven, by the way. So as you guys know, this past Monday on Raw was Raw Reunion. We had all the legends come out. All the legends from yesteryear show up on Monday Night Raw. The likes of Stone Cold Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair. Who else? Ted DiBiase, Alundra Blaze. The Godfather, Ron Simmons, and so many other people from previous years before. Kelly, Kenneth Michelle, Pat Patterson, Gerald Briscoe. I can go on, but you kind of get the idea of people that were there on Monday Night Raw this past Monday for it being a reunion show. And I did say in my Raw review that I did enjoy the nostalgia, the old school, if you will. I did enjoy that. It brought back memories of my childhood. God damn it. Okay? But the rest of the show really felt lackluster. It felt like, okay, they just did a reunion show and just put the blind eye to them building up to their second biggest pay-per-view of the year, but that is SummerSlam. But that was my issue. But apparently on Twitter, when I woke up on Tuesday morning, oh my God, this shitstorm on Twitter, hashtag Give Women a Chance. Guys, it is back in full effect. I tell you that right now. Apparently, people were upset that the women weren't fully used on Monday Night Raw. When you think about it, the 24/7 title featured the women. Well, some of the women, if you will, from yesteryear. Kelly became the 24/7 champion after pinning Joe Briscoe, which I thought was funny for whatever it was worth. Candice Michelle ended up beating freaking Kelly as well, with Melina being the referee. You had Alundra Blaze, Medusa, winning the belt before she was and then she was about to throw it into the dumpster before she gave it to Ted DiBiase, right? And keep this in mind too, you also had a moment of bliss with Natty and Becky, which really went nowhere, but whatever. Again, I have no interest in a Natty versus Becky feud at SummerSlam. I have no interest in it at all. I don't. But that being said, people on Twitter were upset. People were once again talking about how WWE is not utilizing the women. Women are being treated like shit. You kind of get the idea, okay? Hashtag Give Women a Chance. Goddamn. And you go on Twitter and you look at that hashtag and you look at some of the tweets that were posted on Twitter. Holy crap, the most cringe-worthy stuff I have ever seen. Like I said. And listen, I'll admit, okay, I'll be the first to admit, yes, Ever since Ronda Rousey left to take her a year break, to have a baby, whatever the fuck it may be, whatever the fuck she's doing now with Travis Brown, let's keep it 100. The women's division has been shit since Ronda left. And people will say, oh, but you know what? That was the Ronda division. They did it for Ronda Rousey. That's why it was the main focal point. Well, no shit. No fucking shit. But let's keep it real about it too. And I find this very hilarious. I really, really do. And to keep this in mind, I have a love for women's wrestling. I do. I fucks with it. I can appreciate it for what it's worth. Fun little fact, one of my favorite matches that I've seen live was Bayley versus Sasha TakeOver Brooklyn 1. Literally, I shit you not, almost 4 years ago to this time of the year. When you look at the last couple of years, what WWE has done with the women's division, but I think people, unfortunately, put the blind eye to this shit. They put the blind eye like it never fucking happened. Like they put hashtag GiveWomenAChance, but they forget. They fucking forget. WWE, throughout this time of the year, mind you, for the last 2 to 3 years, have given you guys probably one of the best women's tournaments. A tournament in Full Sail that's for women. The WWE Mae Young Classic. I've enjoyed it for what it's worth. When I've seen it, I've enjoyed it. They gave women a pay-per-view this past October. Evolution in Long Island had probably 2 of the best matches on that show. When you think about it. Becky versus Charlotte in that no holds barred match or the street fight, whatever the fuck it was, for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And then you had Toni Storm versus Io Shirai to crown the winner of the Mae Young Classic. But again, oh my God, they don't appreciate the women, but they gave them a fucking pay-per-view. A fucking pay-per-view. Which WWE would not even do. WWE, when you think about it, has given you all the women's division a pair of tag team titles. Tag team titles. Granted, the division is shit. I'll give you that. It's crap. It's fucking crap. But at the same time, the people that are holding it are doing their job. They're pissing you off. That's their objective, to piss you the fuck off. WWE has given you guys, the women that is, right, has given women's wrestling, right? The people that love women's wrestling, not 1, but 2 Royal Rumble matches. The Royal Rumble for the women itself, right? 2 years in a row. They'll probably do a third. They'll probably gonna keep this going. They probably will. I'm not sure about Evolution though, but we'll see. But they're giving you 2 Royal Rumble matches where Asuka won the first one, Becky won last year's, and then you had that moment with Ronda Rousey, right? And oh my God, the cherry on top, the cherry on fucking top, the cherry on top of that cake, the cherry at the top of my man bun almost, right? God damn it. The creme de la creme. They gave the women a main event spot at WrestleMania. WrestleMania 35 in MetLife Stadium, which I was at with Walter. You can follow him on Twitter at HeyI'mWalter. We were there for like fucking 8 hours long. Had to go through bullshit. Had to go through fucking bullshit with tickets. But we were there. And what closed the show? Oh my God. A title unification. Charlotte Flair, the SmackDown Women's Champion at the time. Ronda Rousey, the Raw Women's Champion. And Becky Lynch. Everyone wanted Becky to have her moment. Becky Mania was fucking running wild. The man, Becky Lynch. And she had her moment. She had her fucking moment. They headlined they main evented WrestleMania. The final, this wasn't no middle of the card bullshit. It wasn't the whole Vince McMahon, well, there is a main event, pal. No, this was the final match on that show. Granted, was it a good match? On paper, oh my God, it was a fucking crazy match. That should have been Ronda versus Becky, not Charlotte Flair in the mix, but fuck it, they put her anyway, right? They fucking put her anyway. Was it the best match on the show? No, was not. It didn't really live up to expectation, but nonetheless, they gave you that match. They gave you all what you wanted. And then Becky won. And like I said before, as Ronda left, the division became kind of shit. But at the end of the day, though, when I see this trending on Twitter, it's so fucking silly. Because now it's become an agenda. That's what it's become, a fucking agenda. To get WWE, look here, pal, we gotta give the women a chance here. What happened on Monday? Do I expect, I don't know, Alexa Bliss versus fucking Bayley? Bayley, who's the SmackDown Women's Champion, right? Coming on Monday Night Raw to face Alexa Bliss. What, they're gonna give it from 10 minutes to 20 minutes? Is that what y'all expecting? Listen, women's wrestling is great. Don't get me the fuck wrong. When it's done right. Not every fucking woman can go out there and tear it up like Tessa Blanchard. I'm telling you that right now. Don't expect Alexa Bliss or Bayley to do what Tessa does. Who I think Tessa Blanchard is probably the best women's wrestler right now, not signed to WWE or AEW. Again, my intention is not to bash women's wrestling. I got love for it. I really, really do. But when I said this on Friday on the Team Hill podcast, we can appreciate some shit. But when I see bullshit, I'm going to call it out. Don't expect me to be like your fellow podcaster, your fellow YouTuber, and go, oh, yeah, give women a chance, WWE. No, I'm not doing that shit. How about we get this trending? Give dorks a chance. Hashtag give dorks a chance. Just saying. Hashtag give dorks a chance. Why the fuck not? But guys, give me your thoughts. Give me your opinions on what I just said. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you feel that, maybe I'm being too harsh? Maybe it's time for them to actually do give women a chance. This is what, at the same time, when I look at women's wrestling in general, it's best done on the indies. It's not really done really in WWE. Granted, I guess if you're NXT, like NXT has a good women's roster. You have Leo Shirai, you have Shayna Baszler, you have Mia Yim, Bianca Belair that are still there right now. I guess people will say Aaliyah and Vanessa Bourne, but to me, they're right now. But they have something there. I guess you also have Toni Storm, NXT UK, Viper Niven, and so on and so forth, okay? Point of the matter is, there's good women's wrestling out there. There is. You just have to go out there and find it. I remember for years, American Alucard. You may know him as guy on the internet who doesn't like reviews, or YWC, True Heel, Trigger Guy, whatever the fuck he's going about. Fuck it, I know him as Alucard. For years, he would literally go out of his way to shove this stardom agenda on me and Chase Oliver. For years. Oh, you guys should go check out this match. You guys should go check out this. You guys should definitely do this. The best women's wrestling on the planet. And granted, for a while, we were annoyed by it. I remember telling you, like, bro, this is becoming annoying, bro. And you know what? For whatever it's worth, again, there's good women's wrestling out there. It's just your job as the fan to go out there and fucking find it. Seriously. It's your job as the fan to go out there and find it. Don't expect WWE to literally once again get down on their fucking knees and crawl and do. No, they're not doing that shit again. Fuck that. Fuck that. I repeat it again. Fuck that. It's your job as a fan to go find it. You want to see good women's wrestling? There is out there. Go watch Stardom. Go watch, I guess, Shimmer. Go watch Shine. Go watch Rise. Or fuck. Go watch Impact Wrestling. Granted, it's the division, the Knockouts division is not what it used to be, but there is some good talent there, if you will. Anyway, guys, give me your thoughts on what I just said. I really do want to hear your feedback. Whether it's not here on the YouTube comment, let me know on Twitter, @HeelSteven. Let me take a little sip out of this, guys. I'm going to take a quick little sip, and we'll be back in just momentarily. Oh, boy. I swear to God, yo, Game Fuel needs to fucking sponsor me. I I swear to God, yo. This whole summer, I've gone through so much Game Fuel, it's not even fucking funny, yo. So Game Fuel, if you're watching, sponsor me, yo. Seriously, yo, can you guys tweet out to Mountain Dew, like the amp, like, yo, make me a sponsor. Seriously, need to be a sponsor of Around the Point or something like that. So literally yesterday, I did watch UFC 240. I'm not gonna go through the whole card, just the co-main event and main event. I thought the show overall was okay. I thought the two fights that were headlined were, I guess, the creme de la creme, if you will. You had Cris Cyborg, who was coming back after losing to Amanda Nunes, fighting Felicia Spencer, who's was undefeated. And the fight for what it was, what amazed me is how quickly Cris Cyborg got gassed out. She looked exhausted. 2, Felicia Spencer has the heart of a champion. Even though she didn't win, her stock rose. It really, really did. It's one of those things where it's like you're just to make any other woman who would fight Cris Cyborg, right, would have gotten dropped in the first round, second round, or so, but they would have gotten dropped, would have been finished. Felicia Spencer ate every single shot of Cris Cyborg and kept going. There's a moment in the first round where Felicia throws an elbow into Cris Cyborg, and Cris Cyborg had a giant gash right here. The first time that she's ever got a cut in a fight per Cris Cyborg. And again, she hung in there. She did her thing, and it was great. It was awesome. But with all said and done, though, Cris Cyborg was more the aggressor. Let's not take that away. Cris Cyborg was more the aggressor. She threw the more vicious shots. She was giving more of the punishment. But what really amazed me, like I said, Felicia Spencer stood in there, ate all her shot. And at the same time, this is what happens when you're Cris Cyborg and you're fighting someone that's a legitimate featherweight versus someone that is a blown up bantamweight that had to blow up to 145 to fight Cris Cyborg. At the same time, like I said, Cris Cyborg did look exhausted. She looked gassed out. And from what I'm hearing, like, yo, she literally walks around like 170, 180. And she's exhausted. Imagine, and you think about it too, you being a fighter and trying to cut down all this weight just to make weight and all this. And when you get older, it does take a task on you. And apparently this is Cyborg's final fight in her UFC contract. She is technically now a free agent. Now, after the fight, she did wear a shirt that said Cyborg versus Nunes 2. I'm assuming that's the next fight if the UFC is willing to work something out to renegotiate something with Cris Cyborg, that is. Which I think will be a fun fight too. I don't see the result being any different. Again, this is the first post-fight from Cris Cyborg after getting dropped by Amanda Nunes, which I didn't see happening either. But we'll see what happens. Do I think that Cris Cyborg will re-sign a new deal? Yes. Do I see them, I don't know, making a weight division for it? No. But we shall see what's going to happen. We also had Frankie Edgar versus Max Holloway. Max plus Holloway for the featherweight title. A fight that I was looking forward to. This fight was made and canceled so many times, and it finally happened. And going into this fight, I said, okay, Frankie's going to do it. Not just because I'm from New Jersey. Jersey love all fucking day. But it was a good fight for whatever it was worth. It was a good fight. Frankie got some shots in. But Max is a fucking beast, okay? Also, this is Max's first fight since losing to Dustin Poirier when they fought at lightweight, actually. And what amazed me, too, in this fight, just the size difference of both guys here. Like, Frankie Edgar was the former UFC lightweight champion like almost 9 years ago or so. And he didn't cut weight to make 155. And he goes down to featherweight, right? Had these classic fights with so many people in that division, right? Cub Swanson, Jose Aldo. I think he fought BJ as well, 145. And so many other people as well. Uriah Faber, Almeida. And the list goes on, okay? Oh, yeah, Chad Mendes, too. And here he is fighting He's fighting Max Holloway. And you're amazed on the size difference of these two. Not just by height, just by stature. Like, you think about it, Frankie's natural weight really isn't 145. He should be a bantamweight. And again, you can just tell the difference in just the punishment and the strikes. And don't get me wrong, Frankie did get some shots in. He got one takedown, I think out of 7 of them that he attempted, or 13 that he attempted. He got one takedown in. But when it was all said and done, Max got the win. Max is still the UFC featherweight champion. At the same time, though, I think it's one of those things right now where you look at you just ask yourself, you know, again, if you're Frankie Edgar, what do you do now? What do you do? Where do you go from here? What is, I guess, the next move? I guess what is the move here, right? And that is the question right now. What is the move if you're someone like, I guess, Frankie Edgar? Where do you go? What do you do now? Because you gotta think about this too. Frankie Edgar, 37 years old. The guy is a Hall of Famer bound. Down, whatever the fuck you want to say about him, the guy is guaranteed UFC Hall of Fame bound. He's a legend in the sport. He's made Jersey proud. It's funny because when I saw him fight years ago, I really wasn't a big fan of him. And then he won me over. Like, he beat BJ twice, and what really won me over was the trilogy with Gray Maynard. The guy's been through some wars. He has nothing to prove. Nothing to fucking prove. Now, if he wants to go down to 135, it's his choice. I just don't see it happening, honestly. Granted, when you look at Frankie at his age, it's not like he's been dropped every single fight like BJ Penn has, or anything like that. Or in this case, in BJ's case, made himself to look bad. You know what I mean? You think about it, Frankie been dropped, I guess, only once, to my recollection, against Brian Ortega. Could he go down to 135? If he wants to, yes. I personally would not want to see it, honestly, but again, it's his choice. I guess you could do, Dominic Cruz versus Frankie Edgar. Frankie versus, I don't know, I guess once he comes back, fucking TJ, I guess, when he comes back, right? If he comes back, right? I know he's gonna be gone for a couple weeks. He's gonna be gone for a while, right? I guess you can do Marlon Moraes versus fucking Frankie, or Cody Garbrandt versus Frankie down the road as well. Tye Dillinger, like I said, also. But again, it's up to Frankie at the end of the day if he wants to go down to 135 or not. I think at his age, could he still do it though? Could he cut down 10 more? Because you know what really will call me also sad too? Like, at the end of the fight, like, you could just tell he wanted to cry. You can just tell that the guy wanted to cry, especially when his son showed up too. It's like, I felt for him, really, really did. But let's see what happens. Let's see where they go from here, guys. Give me your thoughts on that. Again, if you have not watched the fights, give them a watch. I know this is normally a wrestling podcast, but again, I'm also a fan of MMA. I'm a fan of boxing. All right, I love combat sports. I try to put both of them together on the show. Okay. So if you watch the fight, let me the fuck know. Before I wrap this up, here, let's get into what happened this past week as well. As we said before, we talked about this on the Teen podcast. CM Punk has apparently been talked with apparently regarding AEW. Apparently he did an interview, I guess, with ESPN, and in the interview they asked him about it. He said no. Apparently, he's been saying how apparently, whenever he talks to, one of the Jackson brothers, it's like, oh my God, you see Cody or Tony Khan saying how they have a good relationship with CM Punk and they want to bring him in. But apparently, per CM Punk, there was an offer made to him via text message. And we've said this before, how we want AEW to succeed. But at the same time, how AEW's approach to business is very, very Bush League. It really, really is. So, when all this happened, Cody Rhodes went on Twitter, the Codester, right? Cody Rhodes went on the Twitter, and basically said the following, right? He said the following, and it's very interesting because what you're going to see is something that really caught me by surprise too. So this was Cody Rhodes' response to what Punk said. I guess someone asked him basically, right? And I guess Cody did the quote tweet, right? It was what he asked in quote. I think he was misquoted. I know one of us had met with him in person. And yes, I texted him plenty when we couldn't connect on the actual phone. But not a contracted offer. I wouldn't be surprised if he went back to WWE. Regardless, great wrestler and guy, doors open if he wants it. So per Cody, I guess Punk misquoted him, whatever, right? It was a misquote. Which then, the guy who conducted the interview with CM Punk, Mark Raimondi, right? Who conducted the interview with CM Punk, responded to Cody Rhodes and saying this: I promise you, he was not misquoted. So, that's apparently Cody thinks Punk was misquoted. And now the guy is saying that, oh, he was not misquoted. So when this happened, oh my God, the floodgates opened too. The people on Twitter, like everyone that's on the Cody Rhodes, like dick riding a cult, if you will, right? Are all like, how it's not true. Like everyone's buying Cody. And here's the thing about it, okay? I want to believe Punk more than I do Cody right now. Again, who the fuck knows? Maybe Cody's right, and you know, but at this point in juncture, I want to believe more. I want to lean more towards CM Punk than I do Cody Rhodes. I think with this being said too, you know, could Punk show up on Double or Nothing? Could all this be a giant swerve? Could we all be worked right now? Quite possibly so. Wouldn't kind of by surprise. But again, like I said before, if what Punk is saying is true, I just gotta say, and I said this on Friday on the T-Mail podcast, and I'll say it here again. AEW, again, we all want it to succeed. All of us do. Even when we shit on it, we want them to have success. When we call them out on their bullshit, we want them to have success. But one thing that is true, their business practices is so Bush League. It really, really is. But let's see what happens. Let's see what happens as the story develops. Because I guarantee there's going to be more to this shit. Also, we think about this too. All Out in a couple of weeks. August is literally almost here. So we're almost there, guys. I look forward to seeing the show. I will likely do a Wrestle Companion for that show. I'm not really sure. It's still up in the air. But I'll give you guys more update when we get close to that date. Also, before I wrap this up, it was announced literally, I want to say yesterday, that Trish Stratus will be appearing on SmackDown Live. So there's been talk of Charlotte Flair wrestling Trish at SummerSlam. I mean, why not? Trish is from Canada, from Toronto. Why the fuck not? Again, I'm not big on the idea of Becky versus Natty. But if you want to do, I guess, you know, Charlotte and Trish, that match intrigues me more to some aspects. But let's see. I mean, again, Trish did have a good showing in the Women's Royal Rumble back in 2018. She did have sort of a good showing at Evolution. So let's see what happens. Let's see how this match plays out. Maybe we'll get that first confrontation of Charlotte and Trish. Let's see what happens. My only question is, where do you go with Bayley here? That's my question. You know. Anyway, guys, this is gonna wrap it up for me. I want to thank all of you for tuning in here today on Sunday, July 28th. Again, it is Peruvian Independence Day. I have to go to work in literally an hour or so. Annoying fucking day. But anyway, after that, I'm going to go buy me some ceviche. I'm going to enjoy the fuck out of it. Some anticuchos. Drink an Inca Cola. To all my Peruvian brothers and sisters that watch me, that listen to me, happy July 28th. Happy Fiestas Patrias. Happy Peruvian Independence Day. And to all of you guys out there, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Hope you're enjoying your weekend. And yes, if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below. Give the video a big old thumbs up, right? Follow me on Twitter at HeelSteven. Again, if you want awesome graphics overly like you see here, hit the man up on Twitter right now. The one, the only Salrex. If you are a podcaster, if you're a YouTuber, and you want awesome graphic designs, hit the man up on Twitter right now at SRXGFX. Tell him that I sent you. Salrex does the best amazing work. I kid you not. So if you want to follow him there, hit him up there. Tell him that I sent you and you want that fire, if you will, by the best graphic designer in the entire IWC. That's going to be it for me, guys. Thank you all for watching. And until next time, guys, hate, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, you dorks, this has been Around the Point.